Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, welcome. My name is Dina and today we are going to talk about books that I am reading this winter season. This is all the books that I have collected recently. It's honestly not as many as probably some YouTubers out there because I don't read as much as I'd like to read, if I'm being completely honest, but I do want to get better at it. That is one of my goals. So I just want to share with you guys books that I am excited to dive into. One of them I actually did already finish because I'm kind of filming this a little bit late. You know, it's already January. But yeah, let's talk about some witchy books that I'm excited to dive into. First one I want to talk about is one I actually already read. It's not necessarily witchy, but it falls into the realm of spirituality, and it is Here and Hereafter by Tyler Henry. This is one of his books. He has actually, I think, two other, if not one other book. I do want to read his other books as well. I love Tyler Henry. I believe he's the real deal. I love him. I fell in love when I first started watching him on the, what's the name of this series? I think it's like Life After Death with Tyler Henry on Netflix. I love how genuine he is and down to earth, and he has a lot of valuable information in here. I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of stories about, you know, for reading for other people, his personal experiences with his gift and stuff, but he gives a lot of tips of basically how to trust your own intuition, things that, you know, questions that you may have for him, he answers in this book. So it was not honestly what I expected it to be. I thought it was just gonna be more about just his personal life. Although he does talk about stuff like that in this book, he does give you a lot more practical things to utilize in your own life experience as well. So yeah, I'll just read the back for you guys just to give you a better idea of what this book's about, but that was my own experience. I actually read this pretty quick and I really enjoyed it. So let me just read this one section for you guys and then we'll move on to the next book. So what can the departed teach us about leading a meaningful life? While we cannot avoid the disappointments and grief that all of us experience in life, we can separate the material from the meaningful and fulfill our potential by listening to the lessons from those who have lived and died. Celebrated clairvoyant medium Tyler Henry has communicated with thousands of departed souls, receiving insightful advice on how we can best trust our intuition, manage our difficulties, and live more authentic lives in the times we're in. When we live meaningfully with intention and self-awareness, we discover how to make choices that prioritize our purpose and learn to let go of negative self-defeating behaviors. Acts of kindness, compassion, and forgiveness to ourselves and everyone around us will empower us to overcome fears and anxieties and open us to the happiness and joy that awaits. Here and Hereafter is an inspirational guide to find meaning in life and living it well. So yeah, highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. It's easy read. I feel like anybody could read it. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So the next book that I'm going to talk about, I've actually partially read already. I've kind of, you know, skimmed through it a little bit because it's more of a practical book to use in your practice than anything. It's not really something that you just read through. It has a lot of practices in it, and that is the Mastering Magic. This one is by Matt Oren. He's the one that wrote Psychic Witch. And yeah, this was on my wish list for a really long time, honestly. It is something that you can use hand in hand with Psychic Witch if you already have that book, but you can also use it on its own as well. I really enjoy it so far. There's a lot of really helpful practices in there. I just need to get better at setting aside time every day to do things like this so that I can strengthen, you know, that psychic intuitive ability. But I do really enjoy Matt Oren's work. I'll read a little blurb on the back here for you guys just to give you a better idea. A companion to the international bestseller Psychic Witch, this groundbreaking book features more than 60 spells and it is its first of its kind to focus on casting magic to bridge the divide between the seen and unseen worlds. Matt teaches you how to enchant yourself as a powerful psychic witch by connecting with the witch's tools, the elements, the moon, the seasons, and the planets. You'll learn the mechanics of spell work and how to make your magic as effective as possible. In addition to Matt's own tried and true castings, Mastering Magic features more than a dozen spells from well-known witches and practitioners. And then it goes into a list of a whole bunch of people. I'm not going to try and say all their names because I feel like I'm going to butcher them. But another thing I do want to mention with this book is I really liked the introduction to this book. And I'm not going to tell you about it because I don't want to spoil it for you. Matt actually goes into his personal story in his childhood and what drew him to magic in the first place. And although It's very upsetting and traumatic, and what he went through was absolutely horrible. It is very inspiring to see where he started and what inspired him to his craft, and to see where he's come today. It is pretty inspiring. So the book does start off with more of that personal story, and then it dives into all the practices. But so far, I'm really enjoying this book. I just need some more time to work with it. But again, it's one of those things that's not a one and done. Like, this is a companion. This is something that you continue to go back to and use in your practice to build your practice, to strengthen your intuition and your psychic abilities and that kind of thing. So I'm really excited to work with this book more. Hi everyone, so this is Lazy Editing Nina here. As I'm editing my video, I noticed that I completely missed one of my books. So it is Real Sorcery. This is by Jason Miller. It's Strategies for Powerful Magic. This was on my wish list for a very long time as well. I actually have another one on my wish list for him. I think it's called Consorting with Spirits or something like that. I love Jason Miller's books. I have a lot of his books already. So this was a no-brainer that it was on my list of books to get from him. So I'm really excited to dive into this. I'll give you guys a little blurb on the back of what it's about. But yeah, I was just so excited. Also, this one mic does not want to sit up. It's like too floopy on my... Oh well, anyways. Okay, so this book is about real magic, effecting real change in a real world. Real Sorcery is about success in practical magic. It is a book that aims at change in both the outer and inner worlds. Beyond a mere spellbook or training course, Real Sorcery is a field manual on successful sorcery written by a professional sorcerer. The first part of the book lays out the qualities, concepts, and exercises necessary to attempt practical magic. The second part presents clear strategies for tackling almost any type of issue with sorcery. In this book, Miller shares powerful techniques that will teach you how to attack problems from multiple angles, not just by casting a spell, blend mundane and magical energy to ensure success, figure out whether what you are doing is working and fix it if it isn't, go beyond readings into magical intelligence gathering, and work most effectively on behalf of others. So yeah, I am so excited about this book. I love Jason Miller because he's just so practical with his magic. He's very realistic with his magic. And yeah, honestly, I highly recommend all of his books. So I feel like this is going to be a really good one as well. But yeah, I can't believe I forgot to talk to you guys about this. I just had this moment while I was editing. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't remember talking about Real Sorcery. And sure enough, getting through my video editing here, I'm like, yeah, I totally missed it. So just needed to insert that in here. I'm not looking very cute right now, but it's Sunday and I'm cozy and I'm just getting some editing done. So anyways, let's get back to the rest of the video. The next book that I want to share with you guys, I actually have not read this yet. This was one of the gifts from my brother for my birthday, and it was on my reading list for a long time. I'm really excited to dive into this book. And this book is called Spirit Talker: Indigenous Stories and Teachings from a Micmac Psychic Medium. I am so excited to read this book, guys. I just feel like it's going to be so interesting. So this book, I'll give you the little spiel in the back just so you guys have a better idea of what it's about. There exists a universal language that transcends all spoken languages on this planet and every planet in the universe, the language of spirit. Through his life's journey, Micmac psychic medium Sean Leonard learns his language, the art of spirit communication. In this teaching memoir, Leonard shares stories from his life, beginning with his first moments of mediumship and including poignant experiences discovering his indigenous heritage. Alongside these stories, Leonard reveals how to meet your spirit guides, receive your spirit totem animal, respectfully use 4 sacred medicines, develop your own intuition and psychic abilities, and much, much more. In revealing his own life story and wisdom, Leonard teaches us how to contemplate our own relationship with the divine, which helps us understand our relationship with ourselves. His story will help you to remember who you are and that you walk with balance in the sacred hoop of life, knowing that you have a divine purpose and that you are and always have been spirit. This is probably going to be, this will be like my next like bedside book before bed kind of thing to read, since I just finished the Tyler Henry one. So this next book, I was so excited the second I saw it on pre-order, and then I finally actually just picked it up in store. But it is called Witch in Darkness: Magic for Tough Times, Bad Days, and Moments of Total Catastrophe by Kelly Ann Maddox. Now, this book, absolutely love it so far. I'm only a little bit in. I'm literally on just page 26. So I just started it. I've been really busy. Christmas got crazy. I didn't have time. But this book is literally for people that struggle with whatever mental health challenges it is. Depression, anxiety, stress. It could be anything. It is about how to witch, how to practice in moments of darkness. And a lot of us are guilty of just completely abandoning our craft when we are going through something. I mean, I kind of shut down and I don't use the tools that I have, but she talks about how these tools in our toolkit are so powerful and they can really help us. And though it's not obviously a replacement for therapy and professional help, our witchcraft, our practice can be so effective and so helpful to get us through and support us in these times of darkness, in these times where we're really going through something. And we need to learn to not just abandon it. And she talks about so many different, not only does she give you a lot of journaling prompts and spells and practices that you can utilize to help you in these moments, she actually gives you ideas of how to prepare ahead of time, create these different magical practices, spells, tools ahead of time for when you are experiencing those things. So when you're in that icky, dark place and you feel stuck and you feel like you can't practice because you're just in such a dark place, you have something that was prepared for yourself for those moments. So like, for example, there was one thing that she mentioned about creating basically kind of like a letter to yourself ahead of time that you would make when you're in a good state of mind, but then you open it when you're in a bad place. There's so many different things. And like I said, I just started the book, so I know that there's going to be a lot more, where that came from. So far, I love it. I love her voice. I love her authenticity. I love how open she is to sharing her experiences, because she has had a lot of severe mental health challenges. I'm not going to get into all the details. I won't spoil the book for you. Plus, I feel like it's better to hear about these things through, obviously her voice. I mean, it's her experience. But honestly, Kelly Ann, beautifully written so far. I'm so excited to dive into this more. I think this is, honestly, I'm not even finished reading it, and I think this is a must-have in everyone's collection, honestly, because I feel like a lot of us do need a little extra support when we're going through things, and I think a lot of us are guilty of abandoning our practice when we need it the most. So I am so inspired by this book, and I'm so excited to continue reading it. If you guys read it too, let me know what you think below, please. But yeah, I'm excited to dive into this more because I think it is such a valuable asset to my collection. Okay, the next book that I want to talk about is something I've had on my radar also for a while, and Ian got it for me for one of my gifts for my, I think this is my birthday. I think this one was my birthday. So this is Llewellyn's Complete Book of North American Folk Magic, a landscape of magic, mystery, and tradition by Corey Thomas Hutchison, not Hutcherson, sorry. So this is the book. It is super thick and big. I do enjoy these Llewellyn books, and I think I'm probably gonna eventually complete my collection. I do have the Lucid Dreaming one, and this is the next one I wanted to get into because I think there's so much value to learn from folk magic. And this is obviously not all folk magic. There's so many different types of folk magic around the world, but there is a lot of diversity in practice just among North American folk magic. And I just wanted to learn about more of the history, because I think the history is also very valuable in your practice, and it gives you a better understanding of where, different types of practices and spell work come from, and I think it just gives extra layers of meaning behind your practice. So I just wanted to learn more. I'm like, this is going to be obviously something that's going to take a little bit of time to work through, but I am very excited to learn more. Just to give you guys an idea of what to expect from this book and the different types of folk magic that are mentioned, I'll just read you a little bit of the blurb on the back. 20 plus diverse traditions from New England to the West Coast. Drawing on the expertise of 24 renowned practitioners, this book features contemporary folk traditions from all over North America. Diverse as the landscapes they thrive on, these authentic practices will expand your worldview and inspire you to enrich your own spirituality. Explore the history, tools, and spiritual beliefs of many different paths of folk magic from Mexico, the United States, and Canada. You'll tour the continent's rich and varied cultures, region by region, taking an insider's look at more than 20 traditions, including Appalachian mountain magic, brujeria, curanderismo, Detroit hoodoo, Florida swamp magic, French Canadian sorcellery, Irish American folk magic, Italian American magic, Melungian folk magic, New England cunning craft, New Orleans voodoo, Ozark folk magic, Pennsylvania powwow and brochere. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering all these words. Slavic American folk magic, and Southern conjurer. So there is a lot in this book, a lot of different practices. I'm very curious to see not only how they differ, but also the similarities from culture to culture. I am just super excited to dive into this. I have 2 more books to show you. Now these books are not necessarily, okay, you'll see what I mean. This next book is a more of a reference thing. It's not like a reading book, like it can be if you can sit down and just read it if you want, but this is more of a reference thing. It's something that has been on my wish list for a long time, and this is the Book of Spells, 150 Magical Ways to Achieve Your Heart's Desire by Ella Harrison. I am a Ella Harrison fan. I do enjoy her YouTube channel, and I have had my eye on her book for a long time. I haven't really bought a spell book in a long time, mostly because I usually just create my own spells, but I thought that I had my eye on it for a while, and I thought that this would be a good inspiration to get me back to my practice, because like I mentioned, I went through a lot in 2024. It was a really busy year. I was kind of disconnected with my practice, and I haven't really done a lot of spells in a long time. I've just been doing little things, little magical things throughout my day, but I haven't done a lot of spell work, and I want to get back to doing more spell work. So this is why I was excited about this book, because I thought that, you know, maybe I'll just do some simple spells here and there that are already, you know, created. I don't have to put too much thought into creating my own spells. Like, I have some go-to ones that I still do, but maybe I want to step out of the box a little bit, do something a little bit different, try some new techniques from another witch. I just thought it would be very interesting to try. So I'm really excited about this book, and I'll read the little blurb on the back for you guys. Discover the art of spellcasting to add some magic to your daily life. Whatever your hopes and dreams, learn how to successfully set your intentions, raise and direct energy, and manifest your desires with 150 simple rituals. From protection and banishment spells to empowering incantations and folk charms for good fortune. Each page offers steps to enhance a different aspect of your life, allowing you to take the practice into your own hands and connect to the magic within. This beautiful guide is overflowing with wisdom to help hone your craft no matter where you are on your witchcraft journey. So yeah, I'm really excited to have this in my collection. Plus, it's just a beautiful book. Like, isn't this just a gorgeous book? I love the color. I love the design, the feel of it. It's nice. It's a nice book. I wanted it on my shelf. I'm not gonna lie. That was part of the reason I bought this book, but I just also really wanted to connect to my magic again. I wanted to connect with spell work again and really start to do that. So yeah, that is why I bought this book. And it doesn't matter, any point in your craft, any point in your practice, like, obviously, you know, even if you've gotten to the point where you're making your own spells, anybody can use a book of spells. Like, anybody, you know, it gives you other things, other ideas that you maybe didn't think about. You know, everyone practices differently. Maybe you just want a quick reference too. Like, it's just something nice to have in the collection. So I'm really excited about this. Now, my final book is not necessarily a witchcraft book. Oh, as I literally lost my bookmark. This is just a winter reading. It's kind of related to witchcraft at the same time. It is a fiction, and it is Wicked. So I have never actually read the book Wicked. I have been obsessed with the musical since 2010 when I first saw it in theater with my drama class, and I was absolutely blown away by the movie. Honestly, like in love, obsessed, on like the biggest high I've ever been in so long. Like it was so inspiring and beautiful to me. Ian and I saw it together. It was his first time like experiencing Wicked ever, and we both cried so much. I was like shaking the entire time. I was so excited. Like you have no idea how much I love Wicked. Like I love Wicked so much. I am well aware that this book is very different from the musical. I was literally told that way back in grade 10 when my friend Jake, who was obsessed with Wicked, he told me about the book and how it is very dark and is very different than the musical. I still felt like I should read it. Like I just wanted to because I've been obsessed with Wicked for a long time and I'm mostly just curious of what the book is. Disclaimer, I don't know if any really young people watch my videos. If you are under like 18 years old, don't read the book. Okay, just putting the disclaimer out there. If your parents who are fans of Wicked and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get the Wicked book for my kid, please don't do that. It is extremely crude and it is very dark, and I already got that from the tiny little bit I've read so far. I feel like I'm probably not going to like it as much as the musical. Actually, I know I'm not going to like it as much as the musical because the musical has such a special place in my heart and it's so much more magical than this is. But I can't help it. I'm curious. I want to read it for myself. I've heard so many things. I'm just really curious about the origin because this is where it came from. This is the book that the musical's based off of. And because of that reason, I feel like I'm not a true fan of Wicked unless I read the book and, you know, learn a little bit more about it. So I am making myself read this book even though it might be a little bit hard to get through at times because of how dark it is. That is the final book. This is the only fiction book in my collection. I rarely read fiction, guys. Like I am such a nonfiction girly. I have a hard time following fiction and like getting into it sometimes. I love nonfiction. I love hearing real people's stories and I love learning from other people, and I don't know, nonfiction just hits different for me. But that's just me. Maybe I need to try different fiction. Maybe I need to just get some better books recommended to me. So if you guys have any book recommendations that are fiction, preferably something that's very magical. Like I love fantasy, magical stuff. Like that's my thing. Like that's what I watch. Like when I watch movies, I love things that are magical and action and things like that. So yeah, if you have any magical book series to tell me about, other than, you know, obviously Harry Potter, let me know. Also, I know this is not related to books, but I gotta show you this because it's adorable. I got it for Christmas and we were just talking about Wicked, so I gotta show you. My mom got me this little Elphaba. Isn't she so cute? I gotta take her out so you guys can actually see her. I was so excited. I wanted one of these so bad. I'm not gonna lie, part of me now wants to get a little Glinda to go with it because like Elphaba and Glinda, they're a pair. I love Elphaba so much. Like I love her songs, I love everything about her. So I was obsessed with this little pop Elphaba. Isn't she adorable? Her cape is doing the whoosh thing like when she spins around in the movie, and then she's got her hand out and she's got her little broom. Isn't she just adorable? And even the detailing of the micro braids from the movie. I love it. I don't know where I'm gonna put her yet. I need to get more shelves in my room so I can figure out where to display her. Anyways, has nothing to do with books, really. But I just had to show you guys her because she's so cute. Anyways, guys, that's all I have to show you as of now. If I pick up any other books, maybe I'll mention it in another video, but that is it for now. But thank you so much for being here with me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on these books below. Have you read any of them? Please, no spoilers, but please, I would love to hear your opinion or any other book recommendations that you have as well. Please leave those below. I hope you guys have a fantastic day or night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye-bye.